Hey guys, and welcome back to the World War II Solitaire board game channel and my epic 20th Air Force campaign, playing with all of the optional rules that are available. I think this is going to be a really interesting episode. We're going to do 3 more missions or 3 more turns, and actually in this episode we are going to get some of those fighter planes, which is part of the optional rules. Not in this turn, but in the next turn. So let's get going here. We gotta move the AA and roll a 5-6. So that's gonna be track number 4. And then we check if we need to reinforce any track, but we don't. New groups, but there are no new groups. And then we go to our new groups, but there's no new groups for us either. However, we have the return to base. Remember that you only take half of them. So there's 2 of them, I take 1. And then manufacturing, in this turn we get to manufacture 3 squadrons of bombers. Starting next turn we get to manufacture 4, which is the maximum. Okay. I get my groups first, which doesn't have any squadrons. And then 2 of them just get an extra 1, so they have 2 squadrons. So now I have 4 groups. No, sorry, I actually have 6 groups which have 2 squadrons, and all the other ones have just 1. Add remove bombing campaigns, there's no new, but next turn there is. Mission construction, okay, so I need to bomb at least 1 mission, and I am going to go with this one. So I'll send 1 high altitude bombing mission to that track. And let's see, I still want to limit the air production. I have, see here, 10, 14 guys that can go on that mission. And I think I'll send that mission to Tokyo. I'm just going to put it here because I'm sending a total of 9 fighters then to Tokyo. Or fighters, sorry, 9 groups. So I'm just going to do like this. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, need 1 more. All of these groups are going to Tokyo, and then the other ones are going to Nagoya to destroy the infrastructure. And it's all high altitude. I don't believe I'm going to do any low altitude bombings in this campaign to any cities, but I am going to have to do low altitude bombings to some campaign missions. And that's it, execute mission. Let's go ahead and start with Tokyo since it's down here. And as always, they only intercept on a roll of 5 or 6. And they roll a 2, so there's no interception. The AA is going to be 6, 3, that's 9. Half of it is 4.5, so we use the 4 column. And we roll a 1, so there's no damage to us whatsoever. We have 9 of them. We can choose, infrastructure or air production. All of it goes to air production. And that means Tokyo is now 50% destroyed. And they fly back to base. Very successful. How can you go to Tokyo and not take a single casualty? That's the beauty of high altitude bombing, I guess. And then we have this mission. High altitude as well. There's no interception. And there is no AA. So this guy is completely safe, or this group. And then we have Nagoya, same thing there. And the roll 5, so it's going to be half of them. And the AA value is going to be 4, 7, 11. Let's see, we have a -4, so we only count this guy. So 11, that's 5.5, so use the 4 column. That's really bad for them. And they're all a 3, and that's no casualties at all. We, on the other hand, have 8, 12, 16, 20, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27. That's 13.5, so we use, that's 14, so we use the 13 column. And a roll of 3, that is going to be 1 damage, 1 destroyed. And remember, they cannot get damage, so 2 of them are destroyed. So Nagoya is also bombed by 5 points. And that's the infrastructure. So Nagoya is now 75% bombed. That's what we want. We got 2 cities now bombed to 75%. We still have 4 remaining, so we have to get a move on. It's going to be a tight game, I can tell you that. It always is when you can't use those A-bombs. Okay, and we fly back to base. Score campaigns, we have 3 bombed, 1, 2, 3, and 2 unbombed, so 1, 2. Tally air oil production. Air production is gaining a real big hit. It's at minus 18, 20, 24. So they're at 1 now. That is the lowest that you can get. So they're not going to get a lot of manufacturers. 24, yeah. And then we have oil, which is destroyed. Infrastructure at 8. So that's a minus 2 to the repair rolls, but I'm not going to let them repair anything anyway. Manufacturing, so we roll on the 1 table on the manufacturer, I mean the 1 chart. And it actually says here that if you ever get to level 1, they always manufacture 1 unit. So we don't even have to look at that chart. I can show it one last time here. You can see it goes from 6 to 2, but they're at 1. And note, Imperial Japanese Army Air Force air production level of 1 always produces 1 manufactured unit. So it's just going to be 1. And research, we skip it. Bombing repair, it's going to be the campaign repair. They roll 2-2. Beautiful, there's no repairs done. And that's it. That's it for the first turn. We go now to turn number 8, which is April 1945. We start by moving Japanese AA to 1. That's going to be track number 1. And track reinforcements, nope. They need to be 1 track with 3 more than 1 weak track. New groups, no new groups for Japanese. And then to our new groups, and look at this. Now we get to taste the second optional rule we're using, which is the one that we get fighters. So I'm going to give you a close shot of this fighter. And if you have watched the 8th Air Force, you know how the fighters work. The beauty of the 20th Air Force is that the fighters can't take any damage. They simply escort your bomber groups to the enemy, and they get to fight first, and then they return without any casualties. So they're really, really powerful. We get 4 bomber squadrons to equip our 4 new bombers. So I am feeling confident now. We have the enemy where we want them. I'm getting more bomber groups. And then we get this one, and we manufacture 4 squadrons. So look at this. We're out of squadrons, and we now have every squadron in the game. So I'm just going to go ahead and give 1 squadron to 5 groups that do not have, or that only have 1 squadron. So I have a bunch with 2 squadrons. Here we go. Add remove bombing campaigns, and we actually have a new bombing campaign now, which is going to be kamikaze bases. And there's 3 of them, 1 in track 4 and 2 in track 5. And mission construction. Okay, I need to bomb at least 1 of those kamikaze bases. So, and they are low altitude bombings, so I can't bomb them with high altitude. I'm going to choose this track, and basically the AA is going to be 6, 10, so I could lose 3 bombers. I could lose 3 squadrons or 3 groups. I'm going to go ahead and give 1 of them free from 1 and say that I did that during the manufacturing step. So I'll send this guy in a low altitude bombing. There we go. And then I'm just going to keep hitting my targets. Let's see here. I have 5, 10, 15, 13. So with 13 points, let's see where I could do the most damage. That's 4, 6, 12. So I don't think I can do exactly 13 anywhere. I can do 12, I think. 10, 12 if I go that way. Let's see here. There's 4. There's 2. What about, is there anyone with 3 points? No, 6, 4, 6, 2, 6, 4. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go for 12 then. So the question is where I want to go. I think I might want to go to Tokyo before Tokyo gets too swarmed with more fighters. There's a AA there though that's not beneficial to me. So let's do Kobe and Yokohama. So we start with Yokohama, which is going to be here. A high precision bombing consisting of 6 groups. And then we're going to go to Kobe. Also high precision bombing using 6 groups. And in Kobe we could use 4 more groups to take out the air production. So let's see, that's going to be 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 groups going in there. Then we have 2 more remaining groups. And we could actually hit Yokohama's air production with that. So that's perfect. Then we get use of all of our bombers. Execute mission. Let's see, I want to send my fighters to Yokohama because, or no, I'm going to send them to Tsukumo because Tsukumo is a low altitude, so that's one has the highest chance of being intercepted. Let's start with Yokohama. It's a high altitude, so they only intercept on 5 or 6. They're all 6, so all of them intercept. However, we are at -4 now, so all of them have a squadron attached, so we exclude those. So AA is going to be 5, 8, 10, 18, 20. So we use the 10 column. And on a roll of 5, that means 1 damaged, 1 destroyed on the 10 column. 1 damaged, 1 destroyed. And I get to fire back. 8, 16, 24, 32, 34, 36, 37, 39, 41, 43, 45, 46, 47. So that's going to be what? 23 and a half. So we use the 22 column. And we roll a 1, and that's 1 damage, 1 destroyed. So they have 2 destroyed ones. And that's it for Yokohama. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits to Yokohama. So we do 1 to infrastructure, 6 to infrastructure and 2 to air production. So Yokohama now is 75% destroyed, and we get the infrastructure research token, which is a bomb token. Not very impressive. So I did lose some squadrons, but we're doing pretty okay. And then we have Tsukumo, which is going to be the first low altitude bombing mission that we do. If we look at the interception table now, we can see that they will intercept on any roll which is not 1. On a roll of 1, they do not intercept. On a roll of 2 or 3, half of them. On a roll of 4 to 6, all of them. And we roll of 3, so that means half of them. So this is the only guy that's going to intercept. And what's happening now with the optional rule is that our fighter gets to go first. He has a fighter value of 13. If it's a low altitude bombing, you don't half it, so it's going to be the 13. So we use the 13 table, and we roll a 1. That's unfortunate. That means 1 destroyed, so his squadron is destroyed. And then my fighter returns to base. I really wish he would have rolled a 2, but you can't always get what you want. And then we do our fighting against my bombers. So we have a 5, we have a 1, and we have a 4. So that's 10. So we use the 10 column for his attack. He also rolls a 1, so that's only 1 destroyed. So 1 of my groups is destroyed. I get to fight back with a combat value of 7. So we use the 7 column. And I roll a 6. So that is him gone. And Tsukumo or Sukumo or Sokumo is bombed. And return to base. And then we have Kobe. It's a high altitude bombing. They only intercept on a roll of 5 or 6. They don't intercept. We still have to take AA, 5, 8. Half of it is 4, so we use the 4 column. And we roll a 4, so that's going to be 1 destroyed. So we take 1 squadron and destroy it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage to do to Kobe. So we do 6 to infrastructure and 4 to air production. Kobe is now also 75% destroyed. We get the research token, 1 plus the training, but it's already at max. So these guys return to base. And that's it for this mission. We go to score campaigns. Mine laying missions, we have 3 bombed, so 1, 2, 3. We have 2 unbombed, so 1, 2. And then kamikaze bases, we have only 1 bombed, so it goes 1 to the left and then 2 to the right. Tally, air, and oil. So air is now completely destroyed as well. And air and oil. And then we have infrastructure, which they still have 10 points. So I believe we are at minus 26, 11, 14, 20. Yeah, minus 20. So we only have 2 tracks left now until we have reached our goal and we can start bombing those minor cities. And we go to manufacture. They only manufacture 1, which is going to be this guy. We roll for his placement, which is going to be track number 1. And then we have research. We skip it. Bombing repair. We do bombing campaign repair. 3 and 6. That's 1. That's okay, just 1. And that's it. Now we are in the new turn, which is turn number 9 of May 1945. So this is going to be the last turn of this video. And we're getting close to the end. We only have 7 turns remaining, so we have to get a move on. We have to bomb those minor cities. Let's start by moving their AA. Roll a 4-2. So that's going to be track number 3 this time. And we have to reinforce. So we have, this one is the strongest one. So the strongest unit goes to that because there's 3 more units than there are units here. And then new groups, and hopefully they don't get any new. Nope, they don't. Very good. And then it's my turn, and I don't get any new groups either, but I get to manufacture 4. However, there's only 3 of them. And then now something happens, which is very nice. Our Marines, the United States Marine Corps, have just captured Iwo Jima. So after that happens in May 1945, you get all of the damaged ones or the returned one from the return to base box. Because basically now we have the airport at Iwo Jima, so they don't have to go all the way back. So that's really awesome. So from moving on now, we will get all of the RTB bombers in this box. And let's see where we want to put these guys. Like so. And then I want to have 2 squadrons which have 3, or 2 groups which have 3 squadrons. So I can do dangerous bombing campaigns with them. Add remove bombing campaigns, but there is no new or removed ones. Mission construction. Okay, do we need to bomb? No, we don't need to bomb really anything. Not even a kamikaze base, to be honest. We might want to do that though, because there's only 10 points of damage left. So in Kawasaki, we do a high precision bombing with 4 groups. There we go. And then in Tokyo, we do a high precision bombing with 6 groups. And that's going to give us a very nice bonus. We're going to get those minor cities targets, and we're going to get another bonus, which you're going to see. Okay, here we go. That's Tokyo. And I believe that's, yeah, that is the last target. Once we have that, once Kawasaki and Tokyo is at 75% destroyed, we get our minor targets. So that leaves these guys, and I actually think I'm gonna do some missions with them because there's no point in leaving them. So let's do high precision bombing, high precision bombing, high precision bombing. And then let's do the kamikaze bases over here, which are low altitude bombings. And I'll send a bunch of extra guys to those locations in case we are in fact intercepted, because the odds of being intercepted are much higher. And for that reason, I'm also sending the only fighter squadron I have to that one mission. Okay, so execute missions. Here we go, guys. Let's start with Tokyo. They intercept only on 5 or 6, and roll a 4, so we are not intercepted. AA is at 9, that is 4.5. We use the 4 column. And there is no damage to me, but I can do 6 points of damage to Tokyo. I do it to the infrastructure. Tokyo is now at 75%. So these guys return to base. Yes, you can see combat is a lot quicker than it is in 8th Air Force. And I actually like that with the 20th, because it's much quicker to play, although I still love the 8. It is very fun to play that as well in its own way. And then we have the mines, and roll a 6, so all of them will intercept. Ooh, that's bad luck. We have a -4, so let's see here. Basically what's going to happen is that I will not count the squadrons, and I will not count this group. We're going to count these 3, so it's 10, 10, and there is no AA here, so 10, half of it is 5, so use the 4 column. And roll a 5, so that's actually 1 damage, 1 destroyed. Lucky guys. And then my combat value is 4, 6 with the squadrons turns to 3, so I use the 1 column. And I roll a 4, so that's nothing. And we do manage to bomb those mines and retreat. And then we have Kawasaki and 3, so there's no interception. AA is going to be 5, 8, so we use the 4 column. 5, that is going to be 1 damage, 1 destroyed. They're lucky, these guys. And in Kawasaki we do 1, 2, 3, 4 points of damage. So Kawasaki is at 75% of damage now. And that means that all of the major cities are at 75%. And then something very special happens. So what happens is that you get to put out all of the minor city targets, all 20 of them. And remember, these targets need to be bombed by low altitude bombings. So we have, excuse my bad pronunciations, Shoshi, Isesaki, Kumagaya, Hachoi, Kofu, Hiratsuka, Shizuka, Numasu, Ulyamadi or Uyiyamada, Tsu, Kuwana, Ogaki, Matsuyama, Hiroshima, Himei, Akashi, Kokura, Uita, Nagasaki, and Kagoshima. Those are our new targets. If we at the end of the turn have bombed 15 of them, we win. But remember that the Soviets will help us in turn 11 and forward, so it could potentially be 1, 2, 3, or 4 lower. So in a really lucky roll, it could be 11 of those bombed. And the nice bonus that I spoke of is this. We get 3 new bombers, all of them with 1 squadron attached, So that's beautiful. 3 more bombers to play around with. And that's the bonus for destroying those major cities to 75%. Okay, so then we have the bombing mission over here. High altitude and a 5, so half of them are going to intercept. So that's going to be these ones. So they have 8 together, that's 4 in half, and a 1, they do no damage. My combat value is 6, so that's going to be the 1 after being halved. And we roll a 4, that's nothing. But we do manage to bomb this one. So I could still, go for housing, because there is one very nice bonus if you do destroy all of the cities. And that bonus is that when you roll on the table later for minor city restoration, if you haven't destroyed all of the 6 cities, you get a +1 to that roll, and that is really bad. That means they can repair quite a lot if you're unlucky. However, if you do destroy all of the cities, what's going to happen is they're going to repair 1 city every turn, and that is super annoying, because that means they're going to be able to put their air production up again, their oil output again. And so you have to also, when they do that, you have to send bombers to that city. It's not something voluntarily, you have to do it. So then you have, you lose your bombers for that. So that's, I don't think I'm going to do it, but we'll see. Maybe. Then we have this bomber mission in the high altitude, and again they intercept all of them. And we have a -4, so it's just going to be these 2 groups, so 8, that's a 4 in half. And they're all a 1, so it's nothing. I get to fire back with 6. We also use the first column, 1. And there's 1 damage, 1 destroyed. So that's a really lucky roll. We destroy the squadrons first. And I managed to bomb. And they return to base. And then we have our low altitude missions, the kamikaze bases, Kokubo and Kanoya. So we start with Kokubo, and we'll roll now on the low altitude area bombing table. And they roll a 1, so none of them will intercept. We still have to do the AA, which is 5. So we use the 4 column. And on a 4 column, that is 1 destroyed. So that's a shame, because I wanted to use my fighter to bring those guys down, but it did not go according to plan. Kokobu is here. And then we have Kanoya, which is also low altitude. And this time they roll a 3, which is going to be half of them. And we have a -4, but and there's 2 of them, but there always has to be at least 1. So we used that one. So it's 4, 8, 9. So we use the 7 column. And they roll a 4 on the 7 column. That is 1 damage, 1 destroyed. 1 damaged, 1 destroyed. We get to fire back with 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 19. So we use the 19 column. 1 damage, 1 destroyed. It's still 2 of them, but it's still annoying that... Let me see, so I don't have any groups here. Nope, I don't. Okay. And Kanoya is also bombed. There we go. There we go. Okay. Score campaign. So mine lane goes all the way to the left and none to the right, since all are bombed. Kamikaze bases go 3 to the left, and again none to the right because none are unbombed. Tele oil, air oil infrastructure. All of them now are at -30, which is the max, and they cannot be repaired. Manufacturing, and they can manufacture 1. It's going to be this guy. And it's actually, sorry, it's going to be this guy, because in the 20th is always the weakest group first. And 2-2, he's going to go to track number 1. And then we have research, skip it, bombing repair. We do the bombing campaign repair. A 5 and a 4. Ooh, 3 of them repaired. Not nice. And then we have major city restoration. Is not going to happen now because all of them are destroyed. But there are going to be, sorry, major city repair. There are going to be minor city restoration. But since none of them are bombed, and when you manage to bomb them, you put one of these. That's when you use that. But none of them are bombed, so we skip it. And that means, my friends, we have entered turn 10. We're now in June 1945, and that is going to be the end of this video. So what we're looking at doing now, we have 6 turns remaining, and we have to bomb 15, at least 15 of these minor cities. When you bomb them, you have to do a low altitude bombing, and if you send a group like so, perhaps 2 of them are alive after the interceptions and AA. And what you do is you roll a d6, and if you roll at least a 6, it's bombed, but you get to modify the roll by a +1 for every group and squadron that remains alive. So in this case, I would get a +2, so I would have to roll 4 or higher to successfully bomb it. But then at the end of the turn, they repair quite a lot of them, and they can actually like repair pretty high numbers. They can repair up to 7 in every turn. So if you need 15, 7 is almost half of them. So you really have to be able to send out a lot of groups, and it's really not as simple as it sounds. And again, you get a +1 to that roll if not all cities are destroyed. So there is a point in destroying them all, even if you can't get the atom bomb. Well guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share the video, and of course subscribe. You don't want to miss out on the next episode of 20th Air Force. Again guys, thank you for watching. See you next time.